Hello guys and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and today we're going to be reviewing a pre-workout by the name of Fiend by Labz, and it's promising euphoric energy, intense pumps and laser focus. So they all sound very cool, you know, something we all want in a pre-workout. So how will it come together as we cover the taste, price, label and effects? Is it going to be worth picking up? Stay tuned and we'll find out. And if you're new and you do like the videos, hit the sub button, hit the bell icon. Let's get into this one. Okay, taste and mixability, and we've got the pleasure of trying Miami Marg, and it also comes in watermelon lime flavour. So they both sound very exotic and interesting, but let's see how this one comes together. So mixability, looking not too shabby, you know, about what we typically see in these glasses. Actually, let us know in the comments section. This is something I always think about, but it's something to consider the way we do these taste segments. How many of you take your pre-workouts in a glass? And how many of you take your pre-workouts out of a shaker bottle? Because I would argue that if you're at home, it's easier to do it out of a glass. If you're out and about, shaker bottle. But yeah, let us know, and then we'll sort of come to some sort of decision as to how we're going to keep it consistent moving forward. But there we have it. Anyway, let's see how it tastes. Yeah, it's good. It tastes really good. I can definitely taste the strawberry, the orange and pineapple all coming through. There's no nastiness to it, there's no chemical undertones, no chalkiness. I actually think they've done a really, really good job. It's definitely on the more delicious side of pre-workout flavours. I'll give it one more sip and I'll give you my final conclusion. Yeah, genuinely a pleasant experience. I can't really knock it. I'd be happy to give that a 9 out of 10. It's a nice sweet flavour. Most people will be fine with that, I reckon, but let's get into price. Okay, so how much are you going to be paying to pick up this Fiend pre-workout? And I will just say, it's actually very cool looking. It's in a nice textured sort of tub. It all looks very premium. The label looks good, which obviously we'll come on to shortly. So yeah, how much will it be setting you back? Well, you head over to their official website, which is bamlabs.com. You'll find it on there for £41 for a 20 serving tub, and obviously when you do the maths, comes to £2.5p a go. And if you put that on our consistent price scale that measures the expensiveness of pre-workouts, this comes in at a 3 out of 10. So it is definitely more expensive than your typical pre-workout on the market, where we would consider that to be a 5 out of 10 on the scale. This falls in on the more expensive end at a 3 out of 10. So what are we going to be getting for that money? Will it be worth it? If we can get a discount code, obviously we'll let you know and we'll pin it in the comments, but going on the full price, let's move into the next segment. Okay, let's get into this label. What are we getting for that money? So, 17 grams serving amount, which is probably slightly more than what you typically see in an average pre-workout of today. So it's good to know that we're getting above average in the serving amount, although it's not always the key to a good pre-workout. It's something that's a good start, right? So let's get into it. Pump and Performance Blend, 6 grams of L-citrulline malated 2:1. So obviously you're going to get 4 grams of pure L-citrulline, which is the precursor to nitric oxide production in the bloodstream. So it's going to help you get blood flow increase, get your pumps, nutrient delivery. It's the staple pump ingredient we like to see in all pre-workouts, and we've got it here at a reasonable dose. 4 grams is enough to get things moving. Then we've got beta-alanine at 3.2 grams, which again is a dose we look for. That's the itchy, tingly type ingredient. When it kicks in, it makes you feel all funny, but it's actually in pre-workouts because it's meant to help with endurance when it builds up in your system and you reach that saturation point. Then we've got betaine anhydrous at 2.5 grams, another perfect dose there. Jack of all trades type ingredient in that it helps with pump, power, endurance, all of that good stuff. Then we've got Agmas, which is a trademark version of agmatine sulfate at a gram, really solid dose there again. That's going to actually work with the L-citrulline to increase nitric oxide production and increase your blood flow and your pumps even more. And it has also been shown to help with pain reduction in terms of like mentally being able to push on through sets. And it has also been shown to extend your pump. So it's a bit of an arginase inhibitor in that it will stop the breakdown of L-arginine in the bloodstream to thus allow you to be pumped for longer. Then we've got the Euphoric Energy Blend, caffeine anhydrous, 300 milligrams, around 3 cups worth of coffee. It's the main stimulant in any pre-workout. It's going to wake you up and get you moving, and it's a solid amount there. So then we've got a Readrensis at 100 milligrams. Pretty decent dose. You know, you see anything from 100 all the way up to about 500 milligrams. So they've gone on the more conservative end here, which, you know, it could suit you or not, just depends what you're after. But it's still enough to feel it, don't get me wrong. It's going to pair up with the caffeine and the other stimulants to bring about more energy, drive and focus. Then we've got Infinergy, a trademark form of dicaffeine malate at 50 milligrams. So you're going to yield 75 milligrams of that as actual caffeine. That's delayed onset caffeine, so it's gonna come in later on at a slower rate after that initial caffeine anhydrous has started to die down. So it's an anti-crash mechanism in a way and smooths out the power levels of pre-workouts. Then we've got alpha-yihimbine at 1.5 milligrams, which is, I'd say a medium dose. I'd say 1 milligram or less is a low dose, 1.5 in the middle, and then 2 to 3 milligrams is on the higher end. Now, this is a stimulant that's mostly used for its fat burning capabilities, but also it does deliver some pretty intense energy. When you start taking it at higher dosages, like I mentioned, that's when the negative side come in. And what do I mean by that? Well, anyone that's used the ingredient will know. It gives you that sort of jittery, almost ill feeling where you feel very salivary, your nose is running. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's one of those Marmite ingredients, but yeah. Will we get it in here at the 1.5 milligrams? We'll let you know in the effects, but yeah, it's a powerful energy-based ingredient. Then we've got the Cognitive Function Blend, DMAE a gram, which is a really high solid dose. You rarely see it that high. Don't get it confused with DMAA or DMHA because it's nothing like that. This goes down the nootropic route, firing up the brain, getting you focused in the zone. Same can be said for the amino acid L-tyrosine at a gram, which is another nice dose. It's going to increase your mood, focus, ties in with the stimulants really well to get you geared up and moving. Then we've got L-theanine, another amino acid, 250 milligrams, which is almost as high as the caffeine dose in here. So some people might be a bit upset by that, some people won't mind. Again, another Marmite ingredient, L-theanine. Some people like it in pre-workouts, some people hate it in pre-workouts, but similar to the dicaffeine malate, it's used as a sort of anti-crash mechanism in that it smooths over the energy levels, perhaps prevents any jitters and negative side effects from stimulants, and channels it more into a productive type focus. So how will it come together in this formula? We'll find out. Then we've got CogniQ coffee extract, which is 100 milligrams. Don't see this all too often, but again, a trademarked ingredient. It helps with your focus and mood. Then we move down to Astrogen, which is 25 milligrams, which is probably half the dose we normally see. We normally see about 50 milligrams, so yeah, I mean, it should still have effect, obviously, but it's going to help to digest all these ingredients and get them through you as quickly and efficiently as possible, because obviously we've got that half an hour window to get it all firing before our gym session. But anyway, you know what we always say, let's see how it comes together in the real world, in the gym. Okay, let's talk effects of Fiend pre-workout in the several times I've used it. Today was obviously shoulder day. So, start off like we always do. Beta-alanine, it's in there at the dose we look for. How did it feel? It kicked in to a medium degree. Like, you know it's in there, you get a few tingles here and there, but it's not life-ruining. So if you don't like beta-alanine, you should be alright with it. If you do like beta-alanine, you might be missing, you know, ones that are a little bit stronger. But nonetheless, it's enough to set the scene, you know, get that sense of urgency going and get your ass moving, essentially. And then shortly after that, you get the onset of the energy, the focus, all the other bits and pieces starting to come in. What I'll also make clear right off the bat is the alpha-yihimbine dose. So obviously, it's in here at 1.5 milligrams. It's on the edge of what I can get away with without the negative effect. So it's teetering right on that limit for me before you start getting, like I mentioned in the label section, the dribbly mouth, you know, the runny nose, the jitters, all of those kind of nasty effects that can come from it that some people love, but I'm not a massive fan. So it's right on that edge where you get the good buzz and the energy kick from it, but without all of that slew of negatives. So thumbs up on that regard. And do you know what? The other thing is, if you have got this pre-workout or you want to pick it up and you're a bit worried about the alpha-yihimbine, you can always knock the serving amount down by a gram or two, and it might just be enough to bring that dosage down to a limit that you can handle. But yeah, I mean, if you're an alpha-yihimbine lover, like similar to beta-alanine really, you know it's in here, but it's not ridiculously life-ruining. So again, if you don't like it, you should be alright with this. If you do like it, you might wish that it was a little bit stronger. So again, it's teetering on that middle ground where it can sort of suit both audiences, and you can muck around with the dosages, you know, to increase the effect of said ingredient or reduce it. Energy wise, I would say it lasts a good 2 to 3 hours, definitely enough for a typical gym session. I didn't find myself struggling at all. You know, all you've really got in here for stims, if I'm being honest, is the caffeine anhydrous, obviously the dicaffeine malate, the reagerensis and the alpha-himbine, but I think that that's definitely enough. Like I said, it doesn't feel like it's like you need any more energy. It gives you X amount and all of that is usable. So it doesn't overshoot it, it doesn't undershoot it. I think they've really hit the nail on the head here when it concerns the energy, at least for us anyway.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
So I would actually say the energy is probably drawing as the best element of this pre-workout, in line with that focus, which feels almost euphoric. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not illicit DMHA off your head type feeling, but you do feel an element of mood elevation and euphoria on this pre-workout, and I can only attribute it to the types of ingredients they've used and the dosages and the combination of ingredients, because you do get a slight amount of floatiness, good feeling vibes with this, but that could also be part of the alpha-himbine buzz that these pre-workouts give you. But I just think it all ties in really nicely. It just feels like a good, productive, high energy, get your ass moving type pre-workout. Like, I've had a good gym session every time I've used it. Like I said, it's suitable for the longer gym days just as much as the shorter ones. The focus is on the money, so in line with the energy at the very least. Now what I'd say is just behind those two is the pumps, which are still respectable, they just weren't mind-blowing. You know, and I guess you could probably work that out looking on the label. It's got an okay pump label in terms of you're going to get your blood flow, you're going to get the veins popping, you're going to work up a pump, but it's not going to compare to an all-out pump formula, or indeed a more stacked stimulant pre-workout when it concerns pumps. But they're enough. Anyway, I think you'd buy this type of pre-workout more for the energy and focus, looking at it, you know, Fiend, it's got on the side here, become a monster, become a menace in the gym. I do think it is definitely going more down that high energy, drive, focus, euphoria route. And it does achieve that, it does. The only thing that I would say is holding it back a little bit is the price. I don't know that I'd pay that price for this pre-workout, because I think you can get similar pre-workouts cheaper. Having said that, I have messaged the company for a discount code, so if we do acquire one, we'll pop that in the comments, and then that will bring it into a more acceptable realm in terms of I'd be able to definitely recommend this pre-workout for the price. But as it stands, that price is a little bit steep for what you're getting here, but it is well justified to a degree because it is a really good pre-workout. So yeah, all I'd say is let us see what we can do in terms of getting hold of a discount code, and if we do get one, you're onto a winner there, aren't you? In terms of who it's suitable for, I would say beginners, it's probably too strong for you guys. Intermediates that want stronger pre-workouts that are stepping into that realm, you'd be fine. Obviously stim junkies that want a more daily kind of pre-workout that's not too crazy but still scratch the itch of that sort of high energy feelings, I reckon you'd be fine with this as well. So honestly, I would say it sits between a strong daily driver and an entry-level stim junkie. So it's in that grey area, sort of in between. You could get away with using it a few times a week, I reckon. So yeah, a really solid product. There's no negatives with it, other than it, like I said, it's teetering on the edge with those alpha yo effects, but not enough for me to say it took away from my training or distracted me or was horrible or anything. I could just tell that if I had any more, I would be going down that path. So yeah, an absolute solid pre-workout. It's ticking all the boxes that you'd want in terms of the energy, focus, and sitting just behind the pumps. No negatives, suitable for a wide range of people. Sit tight on the discount code. But yeah, definitely recommend this one. I would say shortlist it. If you're in the market for a high energy, productive, driven, focused type pre-workout that's not ridiculously illicit but also strong enough to feel on a day-to-day basis, this would be the one to go for. But yeah, if you've used it, drop down below what you think of it. You know, what else do you want to see us review on the channel? Let us know that as well. And as always, stay stimmed.